April, what do you listen or who do you listen to?
Who do I listen to?
Yeah.
Tim Pool.
Do you listen to Shapiro?
Ben Shapiro? Not anymore.
Why not?
Because he's too, I don't know how to put it. He's a little too religious for me.
Okay.
As in, like, the Jewish faith. Like, I feel like he's kind of stuck up and kind of an elitist when it comes to his faith.
Yeah.
And also, I think that influences his politics. I just don't feel like he gives too much about the well-being of God's children. It's more of what he thinks should be done religiously.
Yeah, it's one thing that I don't. So, being LDS, obviously we send missionaries throughout the world, and we believe we have the truth, and we want to share that truth and add to what other people have. Mm-hmm. And I've heard Ben Shapiro say this, as he says, we don't try to convert people.
That's where I have a problem.
It's almost like they try to keep their, and I would be happy to be corrected on this, but it does seem like they try to keep their bloodline pure Jew. So it does seem, I could see why you or other people would say, yeah, they seem like they're trying to segregate themselves from other people. And even LDS culture was a little, maybe not like that. We've always been like converts, but the LDS, especially like when we were in Illinois and Missouri, some of that was kind of forced upon us. But when you segregate yourself from people, they get a little bit nervous. What's going on here? So
yeah, it makes you seem like an elitist. It makes you seem like you don't care too much for the people that aren't of your bloodline or aren't of your
around you or whatever.
And that, that's just not how Christ was ever. And it makes sense because they don't believe in Christ. I find that kind of mindset problematic and it can turn totalitarian. Yeah. And I don't like going down that road of people are better than other people because of the bloodline or their financial status or for certain things. I've never, it's hard for me to listen to someone like Ben Shapiro when he has that take, because you can see it kind of bleed into his politics. And I just don't. And especially like what he said about pornography, about how, it's okay for you to watch pornography as long as it's not you participating in it. So like he's okay with watching pornography as long as it's not a Jew that's doing it. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. Almost like, so we're here for your entertainment. Like, I don't understand. The views that come from from what I've heard from the Jewish faith, that's where I start to, I start to pull away a bit.
There seems to be elitism.
An elite mindset that's uncomforting. That's.
I just don't understand. Like, if you thought you did have the truth, why wouldn't you want to share it with everybody?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, I never get offended by another Christian trying to tell me their faith. Yeah. It's like to me, that's like, oh, you care for my soul. Yeah. And that's
unless they're attacking our faith.
Unless they're attacking my faith, then it's go game. It's game on. We can do that too. Yeah. But if there's someone that comes to me with sincere, like, with a sincere concern for my soul. Yeah. Yep. That's heartwarming.
Yeah. What about, do you listen to Candace Owens?
I used to before she started getting a little crazy. I used to listen to her every day. Yeah. But she started attacking. Now, I don't like Erica Kirk either. Like, I'm not a big Erica Kirk fan. No. But I also don't like Candace. Like, I don't like either of them. If you ask me who I don't like more, it's probably Candace Owens right now. Yeah. So. She's
just with the conspiracy stuff and throwing mud at everybody. Yeah. When Charlie Kirk died, even before that, she was getting a little extreme on the Jew hatred. Yeah.
It was starting to get a little unsettling.
She says she doesn't hate Jews, but it just seems like she just kept on attacking, and it seemed a little much to me.
It seemed a little bit like, and plus she's married to a British lord, and I don't like the whole British monarchy type setup. I love Kate Middleton.
Well, you like the history of it.
I like the history of it, but I know the history of it. That's why I don't like it. Yeah. And I do like Kate Middleton. She has a great foundation. It's called the Shaping Us Foundation, and it helps with early childhood development. So I do like that. So I think there's good aspects of it, but I think it's ultimately kind of an old stuffy institution. And her husband is a British lord. I think he's a lord. I don't know what he is, but he's a British aristocracy. And I haven't liked her since she married him, really. That's kind of when I started kind of pulling away from her because she started to really change.
What about Megyn Kelly? Do you watch her?
I don't watch her either. I don't think I've seen an episode of hers.
I watch Megyn Kelly.
Yeah. I see clips of her.
Trump's starting to lose a lot of support with some big names.
I know, that's
Megyn
concerning.
Kelly, Tucker Carlson lost. He's attacking Trump. Alex Jones, which is, I know people think he's crazy, but he's got a lot of support, or he's got a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
And he has been a good predictor of certain things. And yeah, he's going on the attack now with Trump too. So
I think a good like Steven Crowder, he's been really good lately. Like when he started going through his divorce, he started getting kind of weird, and just you could tell he was a man scourged.
He was definitely woman hating.
He was
not happy with women.
Yeah,
but now he's got
especially white women.
Yeah, white women. Now he's got
in particular
a Latina girlfriend.
Yeah,
and he's
doing all right now. So he's back to kind of normal and kind of leveled out a little more. So I do listen to him. But honestly, when I'm looking up stories and what's going on, I like Brian Austin Green, which he's a smaller YouTuber.
I don't know him.
But
Brian Austin Green?
No, it's not Brian. Anthony Brian Logan. I'm sorry. Brian Austin Green's the guy from 90210. Not even close.
Yeah, dang.
Oh, man. People are like, Brian Austin Green. No.
Get your head out of the gutter.
Anthony Brian Logan. It's the people with the three names.
I don't know.
Like, just pick two.
But I don't even know who that is.
He's a smaller YouTuber. And he kind of just does stories on his own. Like, he doesn't watch other YouTubers, which kind of what I've been leaning towards more is I don't watch other people. I just kind of look it up on Grok and kind of read the articles that
what's going on,
what pulls that way, just because you get too much static from these other opinions.
There's too much lean, whether it's left or right.
Right.
They try to get you to go to the extreme, and
especially now, I feel like
that AI doesn't or won't have lean in it, but it doesn't seem like it's as much.
Yeah. And Tim Pool's kind of stayed in the middle ground, so I've been okay with watching him. But I feel like the right people have gone like so far like out there with the anti-Israel and they're isolationists and I'm America first, not America only. Like I like the America first idea, but there's no way we can cut ourselves off from the world. I think we can do a good job of it and maybe just keeping it on this hemisphere and not worry about the Middle East and Europe anymore. That's been the biggest problem. We've always had trouble over there.
Well, I think Trump's issue right now is like the no new wars, and you hear the nonsense where we're losing. We're not losing. We've whooped the crap out of them. But what is defining a win? So Trump's going to say we already won. But then in reality, if you don't change the regime, the same people are going to be there. And actually, the new supreme leader is the son of the old one. You killed his dad, you killed his wife, and you killed his son. He's going to be
It's not going to be great for you.
No, he's not going to be
He's not going to be your friend.
A good strategic
partner?
Ally in the Middle East. I mean, we do have good strategic allies, not just Israel. You have Saudi Arabia, I think like Qatar, Emirates. I mean, you have like a few countries that we deal with, and we deal with them okay. Not that we're best friends with them, but we're good. I mean, what's interesting is I was reading, one of my buddies served his mission in England, and actually Qatar, or was it, might have been Emirates. I think it was actually United Emirates, Arab Emirates, or whatever it's called. But one of those two countries, either Qatar or that one, they won't let, well, I shouldn't say they won't let, they will let their kids go to a college there, but usually their colleges are paid for. And if they go to a college in England,
Oh,
they won't pay for it because the Muslim Brotherhood, which is basically a terrorist organization, is so strong there.
yeah.
So
England
a
has
Middle
lost.
Eastern country
England is gone.
won't allow their people and have their college paid for to go to an a college in England. That's nuts.
No, I mean, but that's the way they've gotten. Like, the royal family really does have no pull, and it's riddled with scandal with the whole Epstein with Andrew. And I mean, King Charles himself is not, he's just kind of your typical boomer who's just kind of a me kind of guy. I don't feel like he cares about much other than himself and his wants. And so your figurehead there is just kind of collapsing. I don't think the crown will make it to William's son George. I think it'll be so overrun by Middle Eastern culture by the time it's ready for him to inherit the throne that it won't even be there anymore. I would be surprised if William makes it.
Yeah. Do you listen to Glenn Beck?
I do listen to Glenn Beck.
Yeah. Glenn Beck is probably Glenn Beck is probably my favorite to listen to.
He used to not be.
I think
now he is for me. He's one of my favorites.
For informational purposes, Glenn Beck is my favorite because he's able to really put things that have went on in the past, and he's able to take history and tell you what's going to happen.
He's very
today.
knowledgeable with history.
So,
and I love that.
Yeah. So it's not just a podcast. Like my second favorite is probably PBD, but PBD just talks about events that's going on right now, and they kind of debate each other, and but they're not really doing much predictions and going through why they feel it. And Glenn Beck has always been part of that. Even when he's on Fox News, remember, he'd have the whiteboard and he'd map things out for you. Well, he's still doing that on the Blaze. And then he's got the George AI that he's coming out with, which is an AI, but it's George Washington answering questions. And he's just, I think he's an amazing man.
I don't like the AI stuff. It looks weird.
Yeah,
I can't watch it.
I think it's pretty cool.
I
think what he's doing is really cool. Use Grok all the time.
I don't watch AI videos though. They make me uneasy.
Okay.
I don't like AI stuff. It looks funny, and the people I don't like it. And his George thing, I was like, I can't watch this.
I'll make AI pictures, and my kids, because they're artists, they hate it. They just hate it. But anyway, that's
they probably hate it for the same reason I hate outsourcing all of our clothes to China, because
crappy clothes,
and your people here don't make them.
Yeah.
And now all my sewing stuff I have to go to secondhand stores for because nobody sells it anymore. So it's for the same concept.
Yeah.
With AI art, it'll put the artist out of business.
Yeah. So my favorite is Beck. My second is probably PBD, and then probably Tim Pool. Crowder used to probably be my number one because he is probably the funniest out of all of them, and I like his humor.
Yeah.
He's pretty. I don't want to say crude because that sounds like perverted, but he's not really that.
When he has that Nick guy on, he is. I don't like that Nick guy.
Well, the Nick guy, yeah, he's kind of. I don't like listening to him either.
When he has that guy on,
the funnier comedian before him was much better.
No,
I don't remember him.
Dave Landau.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Landau was pretty funny.
So anyway, but yeah, Crowder, those are probably my top four. I listen to others. I do listen to Megyn Kelly every once in a while, and I'll listen to the other ones that Ben Shapiro. He was like, when I first started listening to podcasts, it was Rogan and Shapiro.
Yeah, when he was doing college tours, that's when I listened to Shapiro.
Yeah.
But that's when he was doing it with Crowder. I would listen to him a lot.
Yeah. My first podcast was listening to Rogan, and I think it was about vitamins. Like the whole podcast is about like
you
supplements.
were in the store today. You're like looking at vitamins. You're like, I'm gonna look at what Joe Rogan's getting, and then I'll come back.
I did say that. We went to all these, and I'm taking a fish oil, I think it's good for your heart or something. So as I'm getting old, I got to do old people stuff. And then there's some magnesium. And April's like, well, maybe we should get this. And I was like, let me listen to Joe Rogan. He'll tell me what to take.
He'll tell me what to do.
But my first podcast I listened to, is when I was doing the retaining wall out here, or at least this is the first one I remember. And I rented a backhoe, and I was digging out, and I was listening to Joe Rogan.
Doing man stuff, listen to Joe Rogan.
That's how it's done right there. Yeah. That's
my man.
And I was listening to, I think you were getting into, I think it was Tim Pool.
I've been into Tim Pool since he was doing it in his apartment with a bike on the back of his wall. So before he even started doing the podcast, I was listening to his little segments that he would do, because he would do like 10 to 15 minute segments talking about how feminism sucks. And I'm like, yeah, feminism sucks. I hate feminism.
Yeah.
That's why I have a full-time job. Stupid feminists.
They ruined everything.
They ruin it for everybody. People are always they always like, oh, if you can work, you should want to. If you want to work, you can work. If you don't, you don't have to. I'm like, that's not how it goes. It's either we all work or none of us do.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work like that. We can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
And I want it all back in the home.
Yeah. So going back to Iran, because that's we got a little bit off track, but that's okay. But yeah, the Iran stuff. We just have to wrap this up. It's going on. Like I said, a month and a half. I felt was going to be.
It'll be longer.
Be what it should be.
I'm still sticking with 3.
You're still sticking with 3. I think you're probably right now, but I can't go back.
I would think at this point, I think it's probably going to be longer, and I think the conservatives could very well lose the House or Senate. Yeah, and that, I think I don't want that. That scares the tar out of me, because I do not want woke coming back, and it will. If the Democrats get back in office, woke will come back.
You think woke will come back? I don't think it will.
I think it will.
I think
it's still in every company. It's still in the schools. No, it's still there. It's still there.
I saw it a lot, like 21, 22, when Evie was like a junior, sophomore, freshman. Those years, it was, and not that it's gone, but it was really bad here where we live. And I think probably in liberal areas.
The closer you got to Chicago, I bet you anything it got worse, because it was pretty bad out here.
Yeah, and we're more rural, but we still saw it. And then, I mean, you could see how like people like how the high school kids were dressing, and their makeup and their blue hair and all this other stuff.
They all look pretty normal now.
And then now you don't see it.
So, no, I don't think you do, but I think it'll come back if we lose.
I mean, if you don't think like politics and those types of things, what people are talking about changes, like, you know, when it accepts or tries to push something, Billy, when she
pushed it with her toe.
Yeah, she pushed it with her toe on accident. So it makes a difference, because then Trump gets in, and basically it just changed the way that
it really did.
Things were going.
And if you don't think it'll come back if we lose, I think you're sorely mistaken.
I could be wrong.
That's why I want him to wrap this crap up.
Yeah, so we can.
Because you're losing the youth. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do have to. The youth doesn't really want anything to do with this war.
Nope.
They see high prices on everything.
Groceries.
Well, I looked up the other day. We talked about this before. The average cost of a car in the 1990s, when we were growing up, so we're 80s and 90s kids, but we were teenagers in the 90s, was around $19,000. Do you remember the average cost of the car now, today?
Well, we just bought one, and we could barely find one under 50. And we don't have something special. We have something that we got a 2021 Toyota
that we bought last year.
And was what we got 40. We did 47. It was 47.
No, it was like 43.
43. Well, after interest and everything.
But that was a used car. So
it was a used car. It was 3 years old.
And now the average cost of a new car is $50,000.
I bet you would be lucky to get one at 50 now.
So 2.5 times what our parents were spending.
Yeah, and wages have not followed.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, well, wages kind of, were lower than back in the 90s too. Not the way they are now. Wages haven't followed.
Our parents were paying about 90 cents for gas.
Yeah.
They're buying cars that were an average car around 19,000,
Was that for a new car or a used a used car?
That's a new
it's
car.
A brand new car.
That's a new car.
Okay, so never been driven.
Yeah.
You couldn't. No way.
No,
you're getting a 2005 for that price.
I mean, you couldn't even. But you can't like side by sides cost 25,000. You know, four wheelers cost 25,000, and now you can't get
Start
a car.
driving one of those around.
You can't get a car with. So I mean, I think it's important for people to know, to hear that. Like, okay, the houses
are way out of reach.
Like when my parents bought a nice home when I was around 15, 16. And I think it was like the low 200s, 240, 220, 240. But it was I mean,
that was a nice home.
It was a nice home.
It was a 4-bedroom.
That home right now is probably what, $800,000
home? Closer. Yeah, it's probably pushing $1 million.
$1 million home. The average home that's new that's being sold on the market is $430,000. The average car is $50,000. And the average income really hasn't went up, especially with the inflation. We got nailed with COVID, and now we're getting nailed by the war. So this is where I say, well, I hope billionaire Trump understands, and I'm still a Trump fan. I think he's done a lot of good.
If there's a Democrat going against him, I'm voting for Trump because I don't want woke coming back.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't vote for anyone else. So I don't regret my vote, and I'm not like Hannity and some of these other people where I'm a Trump hater at this point. No, I'm not. I think he's done a lot of good. I think he needs to read the room, take the temperature, and understand
get
that
out as soon as he can.
Claim success. I know the liberal left is going to say you ran. I think they call him Taco. Trump always chickens out. That's the new thing. Have you heard that?
No.
It's Taco Tuesday. That's what they're calling him now. Taco.
Good. Maybe he'll do something.
But they didn't want the war to happen. And then Trump doesn't, he sent that message out during Easter that he's going to wipe out the whole civilization. Then he pulls out and does not do that and says we're going to have a 10-day agreement of a ceasefire or a 2-week agreement. And now they're saying that he's chickened out. He can't win with the left. That should not be his objective. His objective is to do what's right. If they sent them back to the Stone Age in regards of technology and trying to get a nuclear weapon, that's a W. Run with it.
In my opinion, he's either going to have to bomb them and wipe them out or get out if he wants to win the next election, if he wants to win the midterms.
Yeah. Well, so if it was up to me, I know what I would do. I would try to arm the people.
Yeah, I would try that first.
I know the guns are going to get into the wrong hands, some of them, and some will but at least some of them will have guns and say, okay, this is now your civil war. You either got free guns that you're not going to use, or you got guns to use against the government and take your country back. And if you don't do it, that's on you. So that to me, that's the only way that leads to a win, because if you don't change out the regime, now he'll say he changed out the regime three separate times because they keep killing them, but you have to put someone in there
and then protect them.
Or the people really should be putting someone in there. But yeah, he's going to have to do that and somehow protect them. And you start saying put the boots on the ground, you're going to lose even more people.
I say get out.
Yeah.
I say get out.
I say if you have a loss, you cut your losses. But honestly, I don't think we have a loss here. I think we killed what were the current leaders a month and a half ago. I mean, he killed their leader within 10 minutes of the war.
Yeah. He's holding back.
How can you say you lost? and then he takes out their whole Navy, their whole Air Force. All they really have is drones. They have some things where they can fire at, they have knocked down a couple airplanes recently within the last couple weeks, but that was ground-to-air missiles. So, I mean, you've pretty much won. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, what do you think he's going to do there? What's the W there? Because right now, what Iran is saying is that they're going to charge a toll for people to go through.
I'm sorry, say that again. I was reading a comment.
people are gonna. They're saying so right now. Iran is saying to go through the Strait of Hormuz that they're gonna charge a toll. I think that was 2 million. I don't know if it's still 2 million, but it was $2 million per ship.
Yeah.
If it was me, I would either say no, that's not gonna happen as part of the negotiation. If that doesn't work, then you could try to make money off of it, and you could say every ship that goes through Iran, you get this percent, we get this percent of the 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna toll it just like you. That way, Trump can come out and say, "I've got a financial win," which was what Trump wants. When he took Venezuela, he's able to get their leader out and then make a deal with us instead of Venezuela selling their oil to China. With this, a win could be, hey, they're going to start selling the oil to us from Iran. So now we even get more oil that we didn't have before. And every time a ship goes through the Strait of Hormuz, we get X amount of dollars. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take advantage of it, just how Trump thinks. Now, that does mean you're also paying Iran or the government of Iran money.
Yeah,
but
I just don't like that. I don't like that.
I could see it happening. Just
get
get out.
I know.
But if you
just get out. Get out. We have Venezuela. We can do this on our own.
But are you okay with the Strait of them charging ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz?
Why would we need to? I don't understand why we need to go through the Strait of Hormuz if we have Venezuela.
We don't need to, but other countries have to.
Oh, that's their problem.
To get their oil and gas, but they would be funding Iran.
Mm.
So that's why I say, do you somehow make some type of deal to control that?
You're kind of in a rock and a hard spot there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where people are saying, well, are you actually winning right now because of that? Like, could they come out of this saying, we didn't charge this toll before, and now look what we're getting, billions of dollars, and they can use that money to fund terrorist groups? Or do we somehow collaborate and we get a portion of that and maybe have some type of influence over that?
I just think it's impossible over there. You know,
with the current leaders, it makes it very hard.
It's going to be so hard over there just because their ideologies is so different than it's so.
A percentage of the people, I mean, all the people, because it's a Muslim nation, is going to be definitely different than a Christian nation. But only 20% of Iranians support the current regime. 80% don't support it. But they just don't have any guns to be able to take over.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
They protested and they were sitting ducks and they got blown away.
Yeah, because they don't have guns.
Yeah. And let that be a lesson to
that be a lesson to the U.S. Don't let them take your guns. Yeah, I was reading some comments down here. We had a couple.
Go ahead and read them.
Well, but cars are now better equipped, more gadgets. Yeah, I don't need all those gadgets. I don't use half the gadgets.
What was the comment?
Chris says about the cars. He says cars are now better equipped, more gadgets. I don't use.
It's true.
Half of them.
Yeah, and when you go in to get your car fixed, it's
like ridiculous.
Someone you can't. And this is pretty. Ever since I've had a car, I can't say back in the day, but our parents, like your dad and other people, could work on their own cars when there was an issue. You can't now, unless you know mechanics of the car and computers, because the whole thing's ran by a computer.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like I do stuff in the wheel well. Like I can change our brake pads, our rotors, and those types of things. And if it were less complicated, I think I could do other things under the hood too. But I look in there and I'm like, I can't see anything. I don't know what goes where, So before you could work on your cars, they were cheaper because you didn't have all these gadgets that you don't need. I don't even hook my phone up to the Bluetooth because I don't like it. So, I mean, I just for me, having better stuff in the car just doesn't, it's dumb. I don't like it. And then if you have some stupid little gadget go out that you don't use, it shuts the whole dead gum car down.
Yeah.
So, I just don't. I think it's unnecessary.
It's a good point, though. I mean, that's obviously one of the reasons why the cars cost so much more. But you can't. The point is, though, Chris, is that you can't buy a cheap car. I mean, the This isn't like the stuff that you add on. This is stuff that comes with it, and you're forced to have it.
Yeah. So you don't have just just the basic car that a teenager could use to get them from point A to point B. You just need a transmission and an engine.
Another thing that Chris said, and it's a good point, according to Stossel, who I don't listen to Stossel as much, but I do like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's like the classic libertarian and very smart.
I like libertarians.
But I do like Stossel. But he says houses are bigger and also have more gadgets, washer, dryer, central air, better insulation. Well, I don't know, washer and dryer.
That's been there since the 1950s.
Chris, you're talking Honduras right there. Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Washer, dryer, oven,
we've had washer and dryers for a while. But central air, that's been there since what, the 50s, 40s, 50s.
50s. It really became real prevalent in the 70s, where it was put in almost every home. Mm-hmm. So that stuff's basic now.
What I do agree is that the houses are definitely bigger.
Definitely bigger. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the neighborhoods that were built in the 50s, 60s,
they were 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
You're looking at like 1,000 square foot home, maybe 1,200,
maybe 19 for the bigger ones.
But most of the homes that were built in neighborhoods were kind of like boxes.
So make those options again. Make those options again. I think a lot of smaller, younger families would buy them, and they'd probably raise their family there their whole life.
And people aren't having big families.
Yeah,
anymore.
Why do we need these big homes anymore? That's the thing. Like, people think they don't have any kids, and they think they need a 4,000 square foot home. Like, if you don't have any kids, why do you need a 4,000 square foot home? Go get a 1,000 square foot home.
Just remember what you're saying when we go and buy our new home.
I have kids, and I'm having grandbabies next, okay?
There's always a reason. There's always an excuse.
I guess so.
We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
She says I'm back and forth with it too, but
I am too.
Which is probably true.
But
so we have a good sized home, but we also had 4 kids.
But now they're leaving.
They're starting to move out. We have one.
First one's gone.
That's gone, and we have another one that will probably be gone by the fall. Mm-hmm. So we'll only have 4 of us. We definitely don't need this size of house that we have right now.
If they come back with the grandbabies.
Yeah, well, that's hopefully in a long time from now. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that is a good point. The homes have definitely. I don't know what the average. I didn't look that up, Chris, but it'd be interesting. What was the average size home maybe in the 90s when we were growing up versus the average size home now? There's probably not a huge difference between the 90s and now, but if you look at the 50s, 60s, 70s, that's where I think you had, like, our first home was probably from the 60s or 70s.
It was probably built in the early 60s.
And that was 1,300 square feet.
Yeah, and it had 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's there's nothing wrong with that starting out.
Yeah, that's pretty typical.
Yeah. And that's what most people in the 50s and 60s raised their children in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
We had another comment here. It says, the problem is that there's no end. He's going back to the Iran war. What are you going to do when intelligence tells you that China is helping Iran and sending weapons? Go after China? Sounds like a Mark Levin statement. No.
Yes, we'll beat China's butt too.
No, we would, but
we lose a lot of people in the process.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing. That's why I say just get out. Get out.
Yeah, I don't think you can I mean, if you start saying, hey, we got to watch out for Russia, we got to watch out for China, we got, then you get into like a much more major issue. You just need to get out and say, we've done our part. Iran, you begged us to help you. We've been there for a month and a half. We've killed thousands of the leaders. All the top guys are all dead. You got new leaders. They probably don't know as much as what they're doing as what the old leaders knew. So if now's the time, or if the time is now, I should say, to make your move. And how you do it without guns, I don't know.
You can't do it without guns. You're going to have to get them guns. Get them guns and be like, hey, we're out. You got to do this. You got to deal with it yourself. Get who you want in there. And then I say we focused on the Western Hemisphere. Go after Greenland again. That kind of went down, Go after Greenland. Greenland.
Try to buy
overthrow Canada.
Overthrow Canada. Tell
them all to go back to the
They're so liberal up there. I don't want Canada.
You just kick them out. You tell them to go back to Europe because that's where they want to be.
Kick them all out and just
if you're
that would help the real estate market. It wouldn't be so expensive if you kicked everybody out.
Yeah. If you are a liberal and you're okay with the medical assistance in dying, get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gotten really bad up in Canada. Canada's almost lost too, if it's not already. England's gone.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've talked about a lot today. You've seen April in her overall attire. No makeup over. And this is not normal. So April, even though she works from home, usually works in a dress just because she likes dresses better than she likes jeans. They're more comfortable for her. So anyway.
I got back. I got booty. It's hard to stuff them in pants.
Don't be talking about that. Okay. So I would say you've got to see April in her overalls and the dress, which is a wonderful treat. And I like overalls.
Overalls are okay because they're a little wider in the hips and bum area. So these are comfortable, but most pants are just horrible.
No, remember overalls in the 90s? The cool thing was to unbuckle one and throw that. Yep. So that's how we did it. We let one go.
I remember.
Yep. So, all right, guys, we are signing out. Appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend and Sunday. Take care. Have a good day.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.